Safeguard your king and defend f7 with a rook. Good start. White captured on f7 anyway. How should you respond? Recapture and avoid any discovered checks. Keep it up. What's next? Capture the bishop. Good work. Black's king is slightly exposed, but white has no developed pieces, and black has an excellent position. White has chosen a bad moment to castle, and black can start a strong attack. How should you do it? Add another attacker against the pinned knight on f3. Good decision. White attempted to copy black's idea, but black hasn't castled yet, so doubled pawns aren't an issue. What should black play? Chase white's knight from the center. Good idea. How should you expose the white king? Trade knights to force open white's king protection. White's king side is exposed. How should you take advantage? Save your bishop and make a threat. Well played. White will have difficulty defending the exposed king, and black will aim for a quick mate if the queen can ever reach g2. Black has a dangerous attack, but white's bishop blocks the g file. What should you do about it? Prepare to threaten the g3 bishop with a pawn. Good start. How should you continue the attack? Force the g3 bishop off of the open file. White would have been better off sacrificing the g3 bishop. Now black can win white's queen. How? Find a winning check. Nice move. How should you continue the attack? Use a discovered check to win the white queen. Keep it up. How should you win material? Find a capture to win material. Well played. This is the sort of trouble that the pins on f3 or f6 can cause for either player. Pinning a knight on the king's side is rarely advantageous before the opponent has castled. How can black take advantage of the poorly placed bishop on h4? Attack the h4 bishop. White should have retreated the bishop to g3 where it's possible, but material remains even. White's knight sacrifice looks scary, but black can refute it. How? Find a good capture. Good choice. What should you do about the pin on f6? Attack the g5 bishop. Nice move. How should you prevent white from applying more pressure to the pinned knight on f6? Pin the c3 knight. Good work. White won't be able to take advantage of the pin on f6. Eventually, black should convert the material advantage into a win. White's big pawn center threatens to take over the game, but black has a good defensive resource. What should you play? Find a good capture. Good idea. How should you save your bishop? Save your bishop with a check. White's knight c3 was a risky decision. How can black win material? The c3 knight is pinned, so the e4 pawn isn't defended. Good work. With careful play from black, white might struggle to demonstrate enough compensation for the sacrificed pawn. Black's knight on e4 is vulnerable to attack. How should white take advantage? Attack the e4 knight and prevent black from defending with the d pawn. Good move. The only way for black to defend the knight prevents him or her from castling. How should white take over the center? Capture a pawn with a threat. Great job. White has a dominant center and the safer king. How should black prevent white from dominating in the center? Occupy the center with a pawn. Great move. If black can play the thematic d5 advance, It's usually difficult for white to prove compensation for any sacrificed material. Black has captured too many pawns, and white can win material. How should you do it? Fork black's king and knight. Great move. What's next? Capture an undefended piece. Well done. White wins material and should win the game. Black's been incautious, and white can win material. How? Make a threat and prepare to trap the c5 bishop. Good start. What's next? Trap the b6 bishop with your pawns. Great work. Black has no way to save the bishop, and white will win material. How did Gioacchino Greco, the first great master of the Italian Opening, justify his immense material sacrifices? Capture a pawn with check. Good move. How should you keep up the attack? Develop a bishop with a threat. Good work. How did Greco continue to bring pieces into the kingside attack? Centralize your knight to control the king, e7, f7 square. Black wins more material, but white's attack is unstoppable. How should you threaten checkmate? Retreat your bishop to threaten mate on f7. Good idea. How should you keep up the attack? Find a winning check. Black's sacrifices won't extend the game for long. How should you win material and prepare to checkmate? Capture a piece and prepare a deadly discovered check. Great move. There's only one winning move. Greco found it. Can you? Use a discovered check to threaten mate on f7. Great idea. What's next? Capture a piece to force checkmate. Nice move. What did Greco play to force mate and convince his opponent to resign? Find a capture that lets you threaten mate on f7. Well done. Black resigned in Greco NN 1620. There's no good defense against white's mating attack.